Hello and welcome to the third annual Heart Softball Media Day. I'm your host, Mimi Maggard of NAI Softball, home of the premier independent NAI softball coverage. Today we are joined by William Penn University first-year head coach Laura North and junior pitcher Chelsea Huff. Coach Chelsea, good morning and how are you today?
Hi, we're good. Thank you.
Pretty good.
Awesome. So Coach, year one of you leading the Statesmen. How excited are you to kick things off in year one at William Penn?
Well, I'm super excited, kind of chomping at the bit to get things going here next week. It's been a long break, and I think that we're all ready to get going here and start competing and see each other here at practice. And I'm just super excited to take over this historic program and just the support that we have here at William Penn and the tradition of the softball program and the success that they've had in the past. And most recently under, Mike Christner, and he has left a huge legacy. And so being from Oskaloosa, I've lived here for 21 years. And so it's just awesome to be home and to be a part of this program and all the great things that are going on at William Penn.
Nice, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about Chelsea and how much she means to the team.
Well, I would say this to her, whether she were sitting here or not, but, Chelsea's kind of the heartbeat of our team. And just with the success that she has and the competitiveness that Chelsea has, it allows us to do a lot of things on the field. And when you have good pitching, then the sky's the limit. And, we're building our staff around Chelsea. And I think that just with her experience, her work ethic, her leadership, and her just willingness to go out and compete, makes me really excited for the season. And, we've watched a lot of games from last year and just seeing her go out and really compete against, really good competition. And she loves to win. So that competitive spirit that we share, we've kind of really hit it off. And so it's exciting for us to have Chelsea back and have her in the circle and to be able to build off of her past success and the growth that she's already made this year.
Yeah, pitching is definitely key. I've learned that over the years. So Chelsea, you are a returner and a returning first team all conference pitcher. Congratulations. How much are you ready to get back in the circle and compete this season?
I'm very excited. We have been working really hard over this fall and obviously losing Christner and then gaining an amazing coach. And we are all like really, really excited to get back on the field and compete.
So, like you said, an incredible coach. How excited are you to play for Coach North?
Very excited. She is very emotional in the dugout with the team. So when I'm out on the field and I need that support system, it's amazing to be able to look over and see her getting right in, like cheering with the team and everything. So she's very, she celebrates everything and I love it.
That's awesome. Positivity. That's awesome. All right, Coach. So like you said, mentioned earlier, you took over a program that was led by former head coach Mike Christner, who is one of the winningest coaches in NAI. What does this opportunity mean to you to take over a program with such a rich softball tradition?
Well, before coming here, I kind of saw myself as a program builder, and, kind of taking, struggling programs and building them. And it's really nice to come into a program that does have a really great foundation, and a lot of history. And so it makes my job easier that, you don't have to, reinvent the wheel, and you just build off of the successes that have already been in place here. I've known Mike Christner for a really long time. Like I said, I've lived in Oskaloosa. We used to work together when I was at Indian Hills. And so I've known him for a really long time. And so I'm just really honored to be his successor and, build off of what he has done for the last 20 years here at William Penn. And just to, it's big shoes to fill. Like you said, the winningest coach in NAIA softball. And I'm excited to coach at the NAIA level. I've not done that before. And so it's been really fun to just learn the ins and outs of NAIA. And I'm excited for, the opportunity for our program to succeed with the model that the NAIA provides and the balance that it provides for our student athletes. And so it really fits in with my approach to coaching and leading softball programs. So that's been really fun for me to be in a place, not just William Penn, but to coach in the NAIA, because it really matches up with the philosophy that I have on promoting just the balance of being a student and an athlete.
I gotcha. Where, if you don't mind me asking, where were you at before?
Last year I was at Upper Iowa University as a D2 here in Northern Iowa.
Okay.
I had a small break, 4-year break from coaching. I was on a sabbatical, stayed home with my family, some needs there.
All right, we all need that. It's all right.
Yeah. And then prior to that, I was at Indian Hills for 5 years, Indian Hills Community
Okay.
College, just down the road, 30 minutes.
I
So,
gotcha. I gotcha. All right. So how about some hitters that you have seen do well in the cages on and off the field this off season?
yeah, well, that's one of the things that we're really emphasizing. I think that we've talked a lot about just, building off the successes that we've had. And historically, and especially last year, with Chelsea and all the kids that we had on the field defensively, they were really, really impressive. And so from a pitching staff and our defensive kids out there, they were super solid. I think, they had on average less than 1 error a game, which is huge. And so we're trying to build off of that. And I think one of the changes that we've kind of recognized that we can put a lot of emphasis in is to score more runs.
Yeah.
We kind of laugh about this, but the name of the game is to score more runs than your opponent, right? Pretty simple concept. But just looking, to last year, they weren't too far off from winning more games. I think we counted 15 games that were lost by 2 runs or less. And so we can just generate some more offense. I think that we can kind of turn that wins and loss category and flip it and have some success. So again, not reinventing the wheel, but just putting a little bit more emphasis on the offensive side of things. And my assistant coach, Katie Krogan, is a fantastic hitting coach. And so we've just spent a lot of time we've spent a lot of time in the weight room. Katrina Estes and CJ Shepard have really helped our program from the foundation level of building strength and quickness and quick twitch and really getting our girls in shape. So that's been instrumental in, I think, instead of having warning track power, now we're going to hopefully be hitting the ball over the fence a little bit more, getting some more pop on the ball, but also just being a little bit more disciplined at the plate, understanding situational hitting, and having good contact, and then just really understanding the concept of get on base. So we have an opportunity to get you around the bases. And but then, I've always historically just had a really aggressive offense. And so, we want to hit the home run ball, and but we're also going to be super aggressive on our short game and hopefully still a lot of bases. We've got a lot of speed in our lineup, and we, Chelsea and I were just talking about the diversity that we have in our lineups and like different combinations. We've got 7 kids that are left-handers that we could put in the lineup at any time that are combination of slap hitting and power hitting. And so if we are facing a pitcher that maybe struggles with left-handed pitchers, we've got that option. And so, but we also have some really good right-handed hitters that can be super crafty on that. And so really just taking raising our IQ on the offensive side and understanding hitting, but also understanding how to get on base. What you're doing when you get on base and the importance of really paying attention to details when we're running bases, because softball is a game of inches. And so if we can win those inches, then I think that will really affect our run score.
Absolutely. Yeah, my dad always told me growing up, defense wins championships, but the older I get, if you don't score enough runs, you don't win nothing. So
yeah, gotta get on the board.
Right. All right. So Chelsea, tell me about your softball journey. When did you get into the game, and what is it about softball that you love?
I have been playing since T-ball, so since about 5 years old, and it's a lot of summers playing travel ball and constant going to pitching lessons, hitting lessons, and anything else related to softball. But my favorite part about softball is definitely like the game and like competing, but you're also like you're still making friends along the way. So like in travel ball, like I still talk to most of the people that I played with, but you're also making friends on the other side of the team or like the other side of the field. So you're constantly working towards the same thing. So I feel like that like sense of community, I think, is definitely my favorite.
Awesome. That's awesome. So I know your team will be taking a fun trip to Tucson, Arizona this year in March for several games. How much are you and your teammates looking forward to that trip?
Very, especially since we are flying this year and not taking a bus. I do not have normal bus. But I think we're excited to see the different competition because, like, kind of being from Midwest Iowa, right, where you see about the same competition about everywhere you go. So going there, you get your eyes open to everything else that's out there. So I think it'll be good for us going.
Good. And coach, how important will this trip for your team be? Like with the camaraderie and the competition wise?
Well, spring trips are always super fun. We are calling it a business trip, but we're also going to have a lot of fun together. And that's when really your team bonding happens, is when you have to spend a week together. But we can't wait to get down there. We just had a huge snowstorm here in Iowa and having more snow coming this weekend. And so the warmth of the Arizona sun will feel really good when we get to March. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of always just something to look forward to. And we'll play actually 14 games inside before we get to spring break. So we'll have a good idea of how things are going. But so we're gonna try to go down there and really compete and not use that as like a preseason, but just being able to play outside for the first time and a lot of team chemistry type stuff, and hopefully a lot of our families will be able to go. And it's always just a really good bonding experience, not just for our team, but for our fans and our families, and really know each other. And that's something that I really value. I think, Chelsea elaborated on relationships are really important to her, and they are to me too. That's my definition of a championship culture, is to win on the field, but also with relationships. And
Absolutely.
so that spring trip is really important to us for those relationships with our current players and our families, but also our alumni. I've already heard from a few alumni that are planning to come watch us in Arizona. So that part of it is really exciting to me.
Yeah, that's sweet. So like you said earlier, you've been a head coach for several years, but this will be your first time coaching the NAIA level. Talk about what you have heard about softball, the NAIA level, and Heart level as well.
Well, it's really good. I have coached at a high level at the junior college. Indian Hills, we were, top 20 team in the nation every year. So, coaching really high level players and sending them to D1s and everything was, so I've coached that high level. And I think there's a misconception when you get to like D2, D3 NAIA softball, that it's a level down, and I think NAIA gets lost in that mix. And I probably brought some of that, because I had never really coached in it, and wasn't super familiar with the landscape of NAIA softball, but tried to take a lot of time, this year and this summer, just watching a lot of games, and not just William Penn games, but other games, to see like how good do we need to be to compete for a national championship.
Yeah.
How competitive do we need to be? And it's been super exciting to me. I mean, when I came in this fall, you just on paper, you're thinking, oh, maybe I got to go out and get some transfer kids. Maybe I got to go, because we had a losing record last year. What do I need to do to compete? And it's not really about the athletes. It's, the first week of practice, I was just kind of like, chin on the floor, like, wow, we've got some really good players here. Like they can compete. They can, obviously Chelsea can throw it,
Yeah.
I mean, so it's super exciting to me that we can play at a high level, and we've got really good athletes. And so our conference is obviously, sending 2 teams, 3 teams of the postseason is awesome. And I've always known that the Heart conference is super competitive, and that was one of the things about the job that was attractive to me, is to be able to Heart of America conference. because I love to win and I want to compete for a national championship. I think that's what everyone should shoot.
Yeah.
So having that be a reality at William
Mhm.
Penn is exciting to me. I know it's exciting to Chelsea, and so to go in and whether it's your preseason schedule, but to go into your heart conference knowing that you got to show up every day and you got to compete,
Yep.
and prepares you for that postseason. The heart has always, whoever they send to postseason has always done really well, and so I'm excited to be a part of that and to get in and compete. I love to compete. I love to show up and really have those
Oh,
big
yeah.
games, and so I'm super excited about that.
Cool. Awesome. All right, Chelsea. What is it like for you to go out and hit the circle and compete against such a tough conference like the Heart Conference?
Um, well, I feel like as a pitcher, I have my one job, and I'm out there to throw strikes and get them out if I can. Yay! If not, then I have a team behind me. So going up against all of these like amazing hitters, like I have to be on my game. If I'm not, then I do have my team behind me to back me up. But that's one thing, I have to trust in my team behind me, or else it goes downhill
Absolutely.
real quick for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Trust is a huge thing. That's awesome that you feel that way. So final question for you, Chelsea. What's your walk-up song for 2024?
That's a great question. Um, I would love to say that the Sophia the First theme song is gonna be my walk up because I have been called princess by
Okay.
all of my coaches being a pitcher.
Not
So
me yet. I
no,
haven't
not
called you
yet.
princess.
You can start.
Okay.
But I really have no clue. I want to do something a little intimidating. I did like The Purge, I think, last year. So
Okay.
something intimidating, something to set the mood.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right, Chelsea and Coach, thank you so much for the time today and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.